We live. Now, I can just get all this set up because I still haven't set up my speaker and shit. Okay, that's on. All right.
I haven't set up my speaker.
So that's all that set up. Ah, hey, we got a person. Hey, Tank Engine fan. All right. I have no clue what we're going to do tonight. We dorked around on trains last week. Here's the thing. I have so much broken stuff. I don't want to just do that session again. Because that's what would happen if we did trains tonight. Because BioCD won't let me move on without completing that level. It's ridiculous, but it's the way I be. I guess I should post the link to the stream on Twitter. And as is my usual self, I forgot to get the link to the stream when I had YouTube up. There we go. Ah, my phone's turning back on. Finally. That's right. That's how I post a link on. I was just staring at Twitter and I was like, what am I doing now? I'm out chasing rebel scum out light years away from home, but I think I left the stove on. I keep on forgetting these streams happen, and when I do remember, they then get canceled. I haven't canceled that often, though. One time I canceled, I think it was one time. One time I canceled, and then the other time we had to cut it off because the internet wasn't working. I don't consider that canceled because we started the stream. It technically happened. It just only lasted 16 minutes. So, but yeah, I got my chips because I have the mentality of a fat man. So, I actually changed things up a bit. I got like plain potato chips. I'm typically a sour cream and onion guy. But no, today I got Lay's potato chips. Lay's isn't my usual brand either. But they do have the best potato chips. Regular potato chips. Well, last week I was stressing over the end of the term, and I got all A's. That's great, Wooden Railway, Edward. Sometimes I realize I have to, like, say things for the sake of rewatch value, despite the fact that last week I was saying these streams have no rewatch value. But you know, if they do, which I got a few comments saying that there was. So, okay. But if they do have rewatch value, then I guess I have to make sure the audience knows the other half of the conversation. I just took a math placement test. Good for you. Monday, I had two exams, one for psychology and one for statistics. So what we gonna do this stream? I have no fucking clue. I don't know. What about when I talk about the pasta and noodle railway? That's pretty rewatchable. Yeah, when I make sure to like read out loud. I took a science test today, got 100. Good for you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bombed my statistics test, which, is weird because I'm good at math. And then I'm pretty sure I did slightly below average on my psychology test, which is weird because I suck at psychology. But like, I did just barely decent on that one, I think. But it also helps that like, actually no, I'm just gonna plead the fifth on this one. I'm not going to incriminate myself. Incriminate. Because there's a chance that my psychology teacher might see my YouTube channel. Straight A's in all classes, and I'm significantly burned out because of it. Well, here's the solution. Don't give a fuck about straight A's, and then you won't be burnt out about it. I partially kid. Partially. I don't think straight A's are important, but put in more effort than I do. Says the person who wants to be a math teacher. Don't turn 20. Don't do it. I mean, ideally, you shouldn't even turn 18, but definitely don't turn 20. I guess we're just talking about grades this stream. That's weird. Because that's what everyone comes to a Thomas stream for. Yeah. Okay, let's do something Thomasy. Like, my parents freak when I get anything below A-. Why? B is called average for a reason. I never got that. Those are the parents that I just like to sock in the mouth. Like, no offense to your parents, but like, they need socked in the mouth. Don't do that. Or maybe do that. I don't. You judge the situation as best as you possibly can. I honestly don't see the importance in straight A's. They don't get you anything. Especially in high school. Because colleges don't care. They don't care what your high school grades were. Especially if you're going to a community college. That's all you had to say. Through the power of racial stereotypes, that is all you had to say. Asian parents. It's sad that I automatically understood everything. Well, according to the reboot interview, Thomas graduated from the train program, so grades are topical. He came from the training program. I accidentally hit myself on the way when I dropped my arm. I hit myself and it hurt. Anyway, what's something we can actually talk about? I've been making lots of lists lately, which is which is normal. That's typically how I spend my days, doing boring, repetitive tasks. No wonder I don't know how to have fun. All I do is create Excel streets. All I do is create Excel sheets and fix trains content. Those were the words that I couldn't get out of my brain. Of course. Okay, so how about we talk about my series lore? Lol. Series lore. Okay, let's do series lore. I actually do got some more series lore. I got timetables. Oh wait, we showed the timetables last time. We did do that. We did kind of show them off last time. I forgot that I showed them off last time. I don't really want to do that back to back, especially since those timetables might be toyed with. All right, people, tell me your series lore while I figure out what the hell I want to do with tonight.
Hey boys, supper's done.
My parents have the most perfect timing. All of a sudden, I guess, supper's ready. But, oh well, it can wait. I have important things happening. Oh, so you guys heard that. Yeah, I ate before my last class, so I'm not starving. Microwaves exist. But where do I... Why can't you believe me? What don't you believe? Reading. Eat your food, the children will cry. Okay, they can cry then. They can get over it. Well, in my series, Sir William Stanier is the OG controller of the Northwestern Railway. And a bunch of stuff happens between him and Sir Topham Hatt. Interesting. I don't like getting real-world people involved because of messing with real-world history. Reading, you put in the chat whatever you want to put in the chat. You do what you want to do. Actually, I do have a little piece of information. For ages, I've been planning my series to be in Wooden Railway, but I'm thinking it's not going to be in Wooden Railway. I still want to make a massive Wooden Railway layout that like lines up with my lore and still operates, but I think I want to do the series in trains, which may require me learning how to make models in trains, specifically engines, because people don't be happy when you reskin their models. I don't understand it. I guess they have reasons for it. I don't personally agree with them, but I still respect them. But, you know. God, he is still saying. I think you mean I am still insane. Insane is the default. But then people are like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to make a massive Wooden Railway layout. And then they become sane. And then we don't accept them anymore. All right. The early railway Edward arrives in 1914 to help with the joint line. Gonna be honest, I would be way more invested in it if it was Wooden Railway. Here's the thing, though. With Wooden Railway, it's gonna take 20 years before episode 1 comes out. So yeah. Genry was the previous god of the universe. However, he was incinerated due to violating the guaranteed connection. That would be the most awesome treaty ever. A treaty named the Guaranteed Connection. All right. It's time for me to start my presidential campaign. Just so I can do some shit that would lead up to the ratifying of a treaty named the Guaranteed Connection. That's the only reason. Off with his head. But he has no head. Do you mean off with his smoke box? I make lame jokes. Because as we all know, the Guaranteed Connection is the strongest plot point ever. Indeed. Indeed it is. Thomas arrives a year after Emily for shunting duties at Bakerstown. Interesting. That's definitely a different way of doing it. Having Thomas arrive in 1918, 1919 instead of 1915. Boston builds a whole full-sized Sodor just for his Guaranteed Connection treaty. Who says Sodor needs to be a part of it? I mean, yes, I am going to build a great model railway of Sodor, but that's separate. That's just a hobby. No, instead I'm going to conquer the world just to ratify a Guaranteed Connection treaty. But for only that reason. Now then, Sir Handel was taking the train to connect with Genry's train, And since the god powers had nowhere else to go, they went into Sir Handel, and then all hell broke loose. That sounds like a very Sir Handel way to become god. Right place, right time. Well then. So what have I done lore-wise? Well, I've changed Donald and Douglas's numbers. Imagine if the powers went into a coach instead, lol. Well then the powers would have belonged to a coach. That's how Daisy was born. Daisy is the daughter of a coach god. Eagle, the London and Yorkshire Class 27, also arrives in 1919. Okay. Yeah, and in my stuff, Eagle and Winston are actually going to be two separate characters. Winston is going to be the James repaint, but Eagle is actually going to be I forget what the name of the class is, but it's basically a tender engine version of Arthur. The first thing he did was turn the entire universe into one Omega version of the Mid-Sodor. That's very Mid-Sodor of them. Also, Eagle is female. Okay. Cool. Gender balance. This is the way to do it. This is the way. Da-dum. Da-dum. Yes. Ivit 2MT. That's what Eagle's going to be. Because that's what Eagle... That's the guy who originally did the whole Eagle thing originally made him an Ivit 2MT. So... Eagle's going to be an Ivit 2MT, but he's not going to be the engine that pushed Henry out of the tunnel. That is probably going to belong to Winston, or it will belong to Simon, who is another version of the Red Engine, who comes from the Midland. Yes, I know they weren't built until 1946, hence why he's not the Red Engine. He's just another engine. Hello. Hello, Sodor Train. Is Simon the Red Engine sleeping in the shed in Edward's Day Out? I have not assigned any specific engines to be those engines. My thought process is just when it comes to adapting Edward's Day Out, I'm going to fill the shed with engines. And they may line up with the book, they may not. But that's not really important, because the only important part of that is that Edward is in a shed with Gordon and several other engines, and they all make fun of him. Alfred, the Great Eastern Railway B-12, and Crovin, the prototype for the GNR C1 Atlantic, arrive in 1921. Okay. They just have to... I actually had this dumb idea I might put into my lore, where Hero was somehow one of the lone engines near the beginning of the NWR to sort of justify his statement in Hero of the Rails. I'm basically ignoring all of his lore TV series wise. My whole thing is I'm going to try and preserve the idea around the character, but I'm not going to preserve their stories necessarily. If I can, that's great, but it's not. Yes, I am nomming on chips. Which I should probably stop, because right after I'm done with this stream, I'm going to get proper supper. Which, that being said, because I'm pretty sure my dad actually tried when it came to making supper tonight, I might end off early just for the sake of not looking like an asshole. There really is no good way to put in Hero. 1853, nope. World War II, nope. Dieselization, maybe. Actually, I feel like he works better with World War II. You know, there was a lot of involvement with Japan. You could work it. The reason he gets abandoned is because he's like a prisoner of war. And I put quotes around that because he is a machine based on how my lore works. So you may be with or without quotes depending on how you depict the liveliness of the engines. So anyways then, Sir Handel decided to make Worf scale James into a real engine just to piss off the people who unjustifiably hate Worf scale James. Okay. Sounds like a very Sir Handel thing, I guess. The only place it doesn't line up is the whole James part. If we were talking like people were hating on a model of, let's say, Duke, and then he's like, well, now I'll bring this model to life in order to piss these people off, that I could see happening. But James, I feel like Sir Handel would join them. You know, there is a Chinese steam locomotive in America. Okay, but then wouldn't Hero be in the US then? James is Jesus. Well, if James is Jesus, then does that mean Jesus is racist? Because James is racist. These are probably not things I should be saying on a live in public. During the grouping, the Big Four railways, blah, 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 grouping. You know, the same excerpt they have out of Sodor People, Its History and Railways. Not an insult, just calling it what it is, which is fine. Yes. Dustin's gonna get demonetized. For that, I'd have to get monetized. Have you seen my subscriber count? They don't hand out money to people with 86 subscribers. Do you make customs for people like Riotron12 does? You should make them more often. That's the joke, lol. I know. I made another joke. But as far as the making customs, as far as the making customs comment, I don't make customs for people. Unless I am people. I don't consider myself people, though. And I do intend on making more customs. In the end, most of my collection will be customs. I'm going to be making ideal versions of all characters. Like, now this is old shape Henry, so it doesn't necessarily apply, but like, I gave him my own version of the Northwestern Green, for instance. And I'm doing the same with all the other characters. So, yeah. Can we like get Dustin to 1K so my joke works? Then Sir Handel realized that he wanted a higher Archley, so he decided to make Duke his second in command and Duncan his third. Can engines mine Bitcoin? I mean, I don't think so. You know, given the fact that they're not alive. But again, this is just based on my interpretation. I'm sorry, people, that you have to witness this. Gate, leave me the hell alone. He's not listening. The first Vector actor buys Thomas, Edward, Emily, Eagle, Alfred, and Croven, and renumbered them in the Northwestern Railway's new numbering scheme. So I see there's a lot of inspiration from my stuff, which is fine. It's fine. I'm just taking note of it. Mattel in 2021. The fans already hate the reboot, but we will release it anyway. I feel like it would be impossible for them to just not realize the mistake they're making at this point. But I guess they don't have brains, do they? They lost that when they became adults. That and corporate people never actually know what people want when it comes to entertainment. And then he gave Duncan human arms and legs so he could rock and roll. Okay, that's horrifying. What was I gonna say? Why does the fandom keep thinking Mattel's top priority is the fans? Because it should be. The fans are who are going to promote the series. It's free advertisement. And also, they need to advertise to the parents of the children. Most of us fans, a lot of the older end of the fan base is getting to the age where they're going to be having kids. They're not going to be showing their kids the reboot. You know what they're going to be showing their kids? Seasons 1 through 7. So yeah. Honestly, Mattel should keep their adult fan base in mind, because yeah, think of it. Someone, a kid who was raised on a kid who received the first Railway Series book when it first came out, is now at least 75 years old today. It's the dumbest thing you can do when creating any type of fiction is alienating part of your audience. Because that is a group of people that will no longer be promoting your show. What's weird is what the fandom is saying might, in the long run, make Wild Norway. See, some fandom members already have kids. They're not going to be showing them the newer stuff. Maybe some Brenner seasons. True. But let's face it, Brenner stuff doesn't have anything on seasons 1 through 7. And the modeling is the reason for that. Also the writing, but the modeling especially. The modeling captures that real locomotive feel. So Mattel is basically losing their cult following. Yes. Except not all cults are bad. I'm not sure people are going to be that bad. It's probably going to happen very naturally, because I'm pretty sure that Thomas is just going to be the default, okay, I want to plop this kid in front of some TV show. So I'm not sure it's necessarily going to be fandom member parents are going to force their kids to be Thomas fans, but more that children of current Thomas fans are going to like Thomas simply because when they were a little kid and couldn't voice their opinion on what they wanted to watch, their parents would just put Thomas the Tank Engine on. You know, and it becomes nostalgic for them. And I'm not going to say that they're going to become a fan of it. But that's probably what will happen in their younger years. I mean, maybe. There might be a next generation of Thomas fans. If we keep the brand alive, if we keep the character, if we keep the characters and stories and ideals of Sodor alive, there will always be more fans. We just have to accept that, like, Audrey, he kind of, Wilbert and Christopher both, they kind of handed the reins over to Britt a bit. Then she was kind of forced to hand the reins over to Hit, and they handed it over to Mattel. It's time that we literally just take it from Mattel, take the reins from Mattel, and as far as I am concerned, Thomas is practically public domain. Mattel doesn't take down people's videos because Thomas characters are in them. That the fandom has been free to create fan content for as long as I can remember. I know there was a time where having videos taken down was a problem, but it's not now. So you know what? No, I don't think there will be a generation of Thomas fans like us. I think the next generation of Thomas fans won't give two shits about what Mattel's putting out. Exactly, Tank Engine Fan 12. And not really take the reins of the show, but of the ideas overall. The same way Britt didn't take the reins of the Railway series, she took the reins of the ideas that the characters and the stories represented. That's what we do. And this does multiple things. For one, it allows us to be a lot more diverse in how we express the characters. It no longer has to be, well, you have to stick to this formula because this is what Audrey wanted, which is what we'd ask from a corporation like Mattel, and who has the money to hire competent writers and put some soul into this franchise. But I don't expect that from some 20-something with a camera and some toys. We can be more creative with it. Yeah. I think by introducing this reboot, Mattel has unknowingly given up the rights to Thomas. Not the monetary rights, but they've given up the right to call themselves, the owners of Thomas. They only, on paper, they may own Thomas. Legally they may own Thomas, but we own the heart and soul of Thomas. And that's not something money can buy. The classic series, it had the heart of Thomas. It was also willing to share the heart and soul of Thomas. But because it had our respect, it held Audrey's respect for the most part. It made some creative choices. They made some creative choices that Audrey didn't like. Likewise, I'm sure that we make creative choices that Audrey wouldn't like. I'm not saying that Audrey has to like it, but I think it has to be true to his vision, even if it's not necessarily congruent with his vision. Which is weird and kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but I think is true. Exactly, Wooden Raleigh Edward. It's that people aren't going to think of the show. The next generation of Thomas fans aren't going to think of the show when they think of Thomas. They'll think of the fan content. They own Tommy the Choo-Choo, the kitty friend pal. We own Thomas, the cheeky and fun tank engine. Taken lately, mind you. Yeah, Except I don't feel like you really, well, this is an emotional ownership, not a physical ownership. And there is no limit to the amount of people that could emotionally own Thomas. Okay, maybe we should move on to... I don't think this is a touchy subject, though. Now, if we were talking about, like, political issues, or, like, something dark and morbid, I totally agree with you. I'd say let's move on simply for the sake that I've said my piece. I've done my rah revolution bit, and now I'm done. But I don't think it's a touchy subject. I think it's something we need to address. To move on as a fandom in these dark times. Now I'm just doing a bit. But yeah, this is nice. Just a sit and talk stream. But yeah, I probably am gonna go in half an hour, which I know is short for these streams, but given that supper is waiting, I think that's completely understandable. All right, so we should create more lore for the Pasta and Noodle Railway. If you post what you said in the last 15 or so minutes as a short video, it'd blow up online, mainly because it's true. So how would you have moved the ship stuck in the canal? Railway series style or tug style? Tell me what railway series style is now. Well, I was sure tug style was blow it up, but I didn't think railway series style was blow it up. But if railway series style is blow it up, then railway series style and tug style are simply the same style. But I'll just have a polite conversation with the boat. Yeah. How they did in Thomas and the Twins. I don't think I've actually read that one yet. Blow the whole canal up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just blow up the whole canal. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were screwed up when that thing was... Or I guess that was the Panama Canal. This is the Suez Canal that got blocked, wasn't it? I don't know. There are a lot of big canals. Now, would blowing up the canal make it bigger? Or would it fill it in? Make a giant hole in the middle of the earth. Yes. Just remove the core from the planet. Don't do anything else. Don't disturb the rest of the planet, but just remove the core. And see how long it takes for people to notice. Throw the earth into the sun. No, I think people will notice that. Eat the boat. Uh, but yeah, most of what I've done today is fix trans assets. It is actually mostly done. I just got a few things left. Give it a stern talking to? No, don't give it a stern talking to. Just relax. Speak with him calmly, and then he'll relax, and then he'll be unstuck. See, right now he's all stressed, so he tenses up, and then he expands, and he's stuck. But, make him relax. He'll ease up. Just slide out. That ship won't be stuck after Mighty Mo is through with it. I don't know why I added that voice, but it just sounded like the right voice to be saying that line. Exactly, Wooden Railway, Edward. Just like Turtles is doing with Strasburg Thomas. If you're on Twitter and follow Turtles, you get the reference. Well, I am on Twitter, and I do follow Turtles, but I don't get the reference. Little Ditcher and Mighty Mo can get the job done. No, we don't need... Here's the thing. Telling that boat what he already knows won't help him. He already knows he's stuck. He already knows that all these ships are waiting for him to get through. He already knows. That's why he's stressed. That's why he's stuck. Calmly speak to him, relaxingly, about other things. Like how he likes the flowers on the one side of the canal, or what his favorite thing to do is, or his fondest memories. And then he'll relax and then slide out. Wait, Turtles is eating his Strasburg Thomas? Yes, he is. Wait, Turtles is inhaling the Strasburg Thomas? Jokingly, of course. Okay? I guess Turtles made a tweet in relationship to a Strasburg Railroad Thomas and food. So, I guess. I'll probably see it as soon as I log on Twitter. Just give that boat some pain medication and a new coat of paint. I think you're on the right track. I think we can do this without substances. However, I think you are on the right track. I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at the timer. Just how long we've been going. I feel like I'm just being rude to my parents by still being up here and not going down and eating, because I'm pretty sure dinner is done already. but I still at least want to get a full hour of streaming in. But I was going to just go till 10. But now I'm wondering if I should just go after we've been here for an hour. No, I don't feel guilty with you guys if I just leave. I'm just OCD about this shit. But yeah, I think, we'll make sure we get a full hour in, and then I'll go. That's what we'll do. There's also the fact that there's not much going on tonight. There isn't. Tonight was so boring, I forgot the name for the stream. I mean, I know what I named it, but I had a name before I named it. And then I forgot it. So then I just named it that I forgot it. How to move a boat 101. Speak calmly and don't carry any big sticks. Don't. You're just going to make things harder. Somewhere in an alternate universe, there is a quote that says, there's a quote that says something about the line, along the lines of, speak harshly and don't carry any sticks. That's a quote in an alternate universe. And carry all the big sticks. Stupid boat deserves to be blown up. Now, that's not going to help the situation. You're just going to cause more expansion. We want to cause contraction. Expansion, contraction. Expansion, contraction. We want this, not this. Make him do this, not this. Now, how do you blow up the canal without blowing up the boat that's stuck inside it? You want action? Well, go somewhere else to find your action. Go destroy something that actually hurts people. That boat never hurt anyone. Everyone either push or pull, except for you. And say your doctor has forbidden you to move. Forbidden me to move? That's harsh. I want a big boy locomotive going over a toothpick and chewed gum bridge. See, that's much better. That's a much better way to spend your energy. So how do we remove the boat? Because that's the problem here. Well, maybe we should just do what Sir Topham Hatt did. See, the boat's name. I have the answers now. Once a boat, something. Once a boat went into a canal. Once a ship loaded with shit. No, I need something that rhymes with canal. never came out again. That boat's name was Henry. His captain and crew argued with him, but they couldn't make him budge. The ocean will spoil my lovely black hull, he said. Eventually, they ripped up the old canal and dug a new one. Once a ship loaded with pals got stuck in a canal. He honked through his chimney, honked through his funnel, he got turned sideways and blocked traffic both ways and never came out again. Once a ship loaded with pals got stuck in a canal. He got turned sideways and blocked traffic both ways and never came out again. The boat's name was Henry. The ocean will spoil my lovely green paint and red stripes, he said. Eventually, the Fat Controller arrived. He was in charge of all the boats on the Northwestern Boatway. Eventually, he had all the people try and pull the boat out. 1, 2, 3, pull! But he didn't help himself. My doctor has forbidden me to pull. So yeah, this is how we get the boat out of the canal. We leave it there and wait until we leave it there. We dig a new canal around the boat, and then we wait until a cruise ship bursts a safety valve on its way to the big station. And then, by that time, the boat will just be ready to come out. And then we'll have 2 canals. Self-isolate it. It has coronavirus. Just wait for it to rust away. I'm sure it won't take that long, right? No, we just need to wait. We just need to wait a year until a cruise ship breaks down outside the canal. Then just all of a sudden, this cargo ship will be unstuck and we'll be able to take the passengers onto the big station or the big harbor. The boat equivalent of Tidmouth. Which I guess would be Big City Port. I guess that would be the boat equivalent of Tidmouth. Edwards replaced by 10 cents. Nah, maybe Hercules. Because although Hercules is like the biggest of the star tugs, he's also like the smallest boat that would actually go out on the ocean. So we'll say Hercules. Yeah. Edward is replaced with a houseboat. This is typically people adapt Tug's stories into Thomas episodes, not Thomas episodes into Tug's stories, especially not ones involving real life. Well, I think now that Henry the cargo ship and Edward the ocean-going tug have helped Gordon the cruise liner, Gordon the ocean liner, back to Big City Port, I think it's time for all of us to go home, just like Thomas. So, yeah, it's been swell, I think. I don't know. You tell me. Has it been swell? Has it been very swell? I don't want to know if it's been dope. I want to know if it's been swell. Thomas the Tugboat and Friends. It's been real epic, bros, but I want to know if it's been swell. Sleep. It's been. Thank you. Okay, nobody say swell. Say anything but swell, says Wooden Railway Edward. Well, screw you, Wooden Railway Edward. I need to know. I need to know if it's been swell. Sometimes I'm just fine. But not dandy. Other times, I am indeed very dandy. But not fine. Once, for about an hour, I was both fine and dandy at the same time. But nobody asked me how I was. All right. Peace out.